Last week, we dove into your ICA or your ideal client avatar. So if you have not listened to last week's episode, go ahead and hit pause and listen to that one first. However, if you don't want to, I'm not going to make you. You'll still get just as much information out of this one, but that one is super powerful and I highly encourage you to check it out. Okay, so now that we've kind of crafted our ICA or your ideal client avatar, you might be wondering, what do I actually do with all of this information? How do I actually use this to grow my business in a meaningful way? When you finish that whole worksheet and that whole exercise of identifying who it is that you are serving with your business and your products and all of the things, it can feel like this huge milestone. But the magic doesn't really happen in your business until you actually start to take action on those insights. So knowing your ICA isn't just a check mark off of a box. It's honestly this roadmap of creating this stronger connection and building trust and aligning your offers with the people who need it the most. So you can kind of think of your ICA as almost like a GPS, right, for your business. It's when you have a GPS, it's not enough to just know what address it is that you're going to, right? You actually have to follow the map. You have to take the step forward, get on the road and start driving in order to end up at your desired location, right? So in today's episode, we're going to dive into the actionable strategies to actually leverage that information from your ICA workshop, from that ideal client blueprint, to really help you actually put those things into play and align your messaging, refining your offering, and choosing the right platforms. You're going to learn how to turn your insights into growth-driven actions. So no matter where you are in your business, these steps are going to help you maximize the impact of actually knowing who your ICA is. Now, if you have not already gotten your free copy of your ideal client blueprint, you can do that down below. It is a completely free guide that is going to help you follow along and actually apply what it is that we're learning today. So you can find that in the show notes below. You do not want to miss out on that. Okay, so grab your notebook, open up your blueprint, and let's go ahead and dive into how to make your ICA the driving force behind your business.
Hello, and welcome to the Next Brave Step podcast, the podcast that's all about turning dreams into action. I'm your host, Chelsea Wise. Now, this podcast is more than just something to listen to while you fold laundry. Instead, imagine I'm inviting you to join me in my kitchen, a space for genuine and transformative conversations. Here, with the sunlight streaming through the windows, margaritas and homemade guac on the table, we're ready to dive into stories and strategies that don't just inspire you to think about a better life, but give you the tools, motivations to go out there and make it happen. So pull up a chair, let's talk like old friends, and together we'll navigate the journey from turning dreaming into doing, one brave step at a time. Your adventure towards making your dreams a reality starts right here.
Okay, so before we dive a little bit too deep into this episode, I want to clarify a few terms for you. So if you've ever heard the acronym ICA, which means Ideal Client Avatar, or ICP, which means Ideal Client Profile, or just Ideal Client, they all refer to the exact same concept. Basically, it is this detailed representation of the person your business is designed to serve, right? Super simple. So regardless of whatever term you decide to use, just want you to have a clear understanding of who it is that your ideal client is, what they need, and how you can serve them moving forward. So pick whichever term resonates most with you and let's move on. So many entrepreneurs that I have spoken with or that I've worked with one-on-one spend so much time crafting their ideal client avatar, their ICA. But then they kind of like stop and leave it, right? They kind of treat it as this like one and done exercise. Now they feel that they create this profile and they feel like so accomplished. And then they just kind of set it up on the shelf and don't actually incorporate any of those insights and that information into their actual daily business decisions. Now, this kind of creates this like illusion of progress. Now, this happens because we do all this time in identifying what it is, but honestly, that is just the very first step. Once you do that, you have to have a clear plan for actually implementing all of these things, these insights that you find when you dig into your ideal client avatar. Now, if you don't actually dig in, this is going to lead to stagnation. And you're going to be left wondering why your marketing efforts aren't actually resonating despite you knowing who your ideal client is. You're going to also have a lot of missed connections. So if you're not actually using this information, you aren't going to be shaping offers that really resonate with your ideal client. You're going to have offers that just sound too generic, and you're going to fail to connect with the people that you and your business are meant to work with, right? Another thing that you are going to find yourself doing if you don't actually put in the effort afterwards is you're going to be wasting your resources. So everything in your business is a resource, whether it is your time, your energy, your money, your effort that you're putting into it. All of those things can become wasted if you are not very specific on what it is that you are focusing on. So you could become like putting in so much time on Facebook because it's quote unquote popular, but you might be missing out on your ideal client who spends all of their time over on Instagram where they are looking for travel inspiration. And you really want to focus in on adventurous couples, but they're not really on Facebook, right? If you don't actually make the change after you find out the information, you're going to start to feel really burnt out. You're going to find yourself continuing to work with misaligned clients, creating these generic offers that really just drain your passion, drain your energy, and it's going to lead to frustration and burnout. So why does this all matter, right? I want you to think of your ICA as this roadmap, this guiding light, right? So your ICA is not only powerful in the action itself, but if you don't leverage it, you're missing out on opportunities. You're missing out on money. And it really sucks when you take a step back and look at all the work that you put into defining this, but then not actually putting it into play. When you start to take action based on your ICA insights, your business is going to be stronger in its engagement. You're going to have higher conversion rates, and you're going to fulfill more client relationships, right? So I want to encourage you to reframe this problem as an opportunity. So if you have ever felt stuck after doing a worksheet like the Ideal Client Blueprint, you are not alone. You are in the perfect position to unlock its full potential. And today's episode, we're going to give you all the tools to create that impact from those insights. So how do we actually move beyond that theoretical clarity into actionable strategy that actually drives results in your business? So your ICA isn't really just a guide. It really becomes this foundation for creating a business that deeply resonates with your audience to help you achieve sustainable success. And here is why. So one of the first things that it's going to help you do is align your messaging and your offers with your audience's needs. So why does this matter? So when your messaging actually aligns with the pain points and that desired outcome, it's going to help to create this instant connection and this instant credibility. Someone is going to be able to read through your Instagram post or your website and immediately be like, ooh, that is for me. Or on the reverse, someone who's not a great fit is going to read through it, be like, doesn't sound like something that I want or need right now, which is perfect. We want to repel the people that don't fit and attract the people that do. So when your offers are really tailored to a specific problem, to solve a specific issue, your audience is going to feel understood and valued, right? So here is your actionable step for this section right here. I want you to right now take out a pen and paper or do a screen recording and review your current messaging. Does it actually speak to your ICA's core struggles and their aspirations? And once you really identify whether you are missing the mark or you've got it head on, I want you to start working on adapting your product descriptions, your website copy, and your marketing campaigns to really reflect the language and the tone that your ICA actually uses. So if you are a fitness coach for a busy mom, you might be updating your website to emphasize short and effective workouts that are designed to fit into a chaotic scheduling. So this is going to be using phrases like workouts under 20 minutes or nap time fitness routines, right? Those are things that a busy mom is going to be instantly drawn to, right? It's going to repel away your gym bros who want to spend hours in the gym staring at their big muscles who like to pick things up and put them down, right? Two very distinct, different audiences, and that messaging reflects it. Okay, number 2, you're going to create a personalized customer experience that leads to trust and loyalty. So why does this matter? So when your customers feel personally connected to your brand, they are more than likely going to become repeat buyers or loyal advocates. That personalization signals to your audience that you genuinely understand the needs and you really care about their experience. So take a minute, get out a piece of paper again, or that same paper that you've been working on, and map out that customer journey. Identify the opportunities and the little personal touches that you can put into your business and your client experience. So this might look like things like, what does your welcome email say? Is it just a generic, thanks for signing up, here's your receipt? Or is it going to dive a little bit deeper into congratulating them on taking that first step towards their health and their fitness? And, here's also your email, but like a little bit of encouragement along the way. This could also look like sending thank you notes or tailored product recommendations based on their first purchase, right? All of that data that you are going to use in your ICA to help you segment your audience and provide that relevant content offer, right? So think of a flower farmer who maybe sells wedding arrangements, and she includes a handwritten note with careful care instructions and maybe a discount code for a future purchase, whether it's an anniversary or a birthday, right? That is going to, create that. That's going to help, make that bride feel super special that she made this for us, but we also have the opportunity to work with her again for things outside of our wedding, right? And that's going to help to create that extended client experience, that repeatable client experience for, a flower farmer or a florist. Now, the next thing that I want you to work on is prioritizing your efforts that are going to heal. Okay. So number 3 step is really working on prioritizing your efforts. And what do I mean by this? Basically, it is putting your energy, your time, your money behind the things in your business that are going to give you the biggest return. So the highest ROI. ROI is return on investment. And why does this matter? When we understand what our IC. Okay, so how do we actually put this into play here? When we understand your ICA, it allows you to focus your time, your energy, resources on the strategies, the platforms, the things that are going to get you the most impact. And that's going to help you avoid spreading yourself too thin. It's going to help you avoid trying to be everywhere all at once and really focusing your efforts to directly connect with your audience. So this might look like identifying what platform your audience is actually on. So very often I've worked with a ton of photographers who, when I say, what does your marketing strategy look like? How are you going to reach your people? They'll say something very vague like social media. Okay, social media means a lot. There's a ton of ways that you can market on social media. That can look like Instagram. That can look like Pinterest. That can look like Facebook. That can be Facebook groups. All of those things qualify as social media, TikTok, all of it, right? But where is your audience hanging out? Where do they prefer to get their information? And where are you most likely to find that type of audience, right? This is going to help you not spread yourself too thin. And if you write a blog post, you don't have to put it on 9,000 million things right away. Now, eventually you might refine one platform and add another one on, but you can do that gradually after you master the first one. But it's so important to really understand which platform it is that you want to use. Or are you going to use ads? Where are you going to put your ads? Are you going to run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads? Got to figure it out, right? So regularly analyzing your performance and metrics is going to help you adjust those things and kind of figure out where your ICA is resonating with those things the most. So go ahead, take a minute and be honest with yourself. What platform do you want to go all in on? Okay. When you really start to align your messaging and create this personalized experience and focus on those high impact strategies, the result in your business can feel like it was designed specifically for your audience. Now, defining your ICA is not just a tool, it becomes almost like the secret weapon that you have to help build trust and the sustainable growth long term. So the more intentional you are about leveraging it, the more powerful your results can actually be. Okay, so next section, we're going to be talking about some key strategies for actually leveraging it, right? We've talked a little bit about the high level things. Now we're going to talk about a little bit more of the nitty gritty. So the first thing that you want to do is start to align your messaging with those pain points that you identified with your ICA. So go ahead and review that ideal client blueprint. And I want you to identify the 3 pain points that your client is experiencing. So what specific challenges or frustrations does your ICA face on a daily basis? What are the emotional triggers that you can address through your messaging? And what language or tone is going to resonate with your ICA the best? Now, your challenge here is to create some content that directly speaks to those challenges. Now, this content can look like blog posts. It can look like social media posts. It can look like email campaigns. What you want to do is figure out which platform that you need to be using, like we talked about earlier. But what type of content can you create around those 3 pain points? So here's some ideas to kind of spark some ideas. So can you create a blog series that dives a little bit deeper into one of those pain points? What stories or testimonials do you have from past clients that share how your product has solved those problems or eased those frustrations? And then is there any quick and actionable advice that you can offer through some social media posts that's very easily digestible, that can get a quick win for some of your clients? One of my one-on-one clients, I've talked about her before, she makes soaps. And one of the main pain points that her ICA had was finding a clean skin care for sensitive skin. So she actually ended up creating this email series that really educated customers on not only the benefits of natural skin, but she dove into the sourcing of it and why her product is so much better for sensitive skin. And she dove into, the dyes, the fragrances, and how all of those things go into whether or not your skin is going to be irritated or not. All of that led to purchase this product at the end. The next thing that we can do is, besides our messaging, or the next stage is refining our product or service offer. So go ahead and compare your current offers with your ICA's desires and needs. And some questions that I want you to reflect on are your products or services solving their most pressing problems? Is there an offering that you're currently providing that maybe doesn't align with it? And this kind of goes into simplifying your offering. Is there anything that you could take out that doesn't really align with this overall problem? Is there one small tweak that you can make that's going to better cater to their desires? adjusting or simplifying your offers to better align with what your ICA wants, it's going to make your business so much easier. So here's some questions that you can kind of go over. So can you create either a new package or a bundle or maybe a tiered pricing option that's going to better serve your ICA? Are there some unnecessary complexities in your offer that you can kind of get rid of to streamline it? And then are you emphasizing the features and benefits that matter the most to your ICA? Okay, we talked about it a little bit more, but we're going to dive in a little bit deeper, and that is choosing the right platform to reach your ICA. So what you want to do is you really want to determine where do you want to invest your time, where do you want to invest your energy, and that all boils down to where does your ideal client spend their time online or maybe in person. So some questions to help you identify which platform that you should be using are: where does my ICA go to seek information or solutions relating to this pain point? So are they engaging more with visuals? So is that going to be things like Instagram? Are they looking for more professional content like LinkedIn? Or are they looking for how-to videos on YouTube? The next question you want to ask yourself is, are you wasting any time on platforms where your ICA just really isn't that active? When you focus your efforts on the platform that they're most active, you're going to get the biggest return on investment. How can you really double down on the platform where your ICA is already engaging with similar businesses? Next question is, what type of content performs the best on the platform for your niche? So Instagram is a great example of this. Instagram has a lot of different ways to interact with the platform. So there are stories where things are a little bit more personal and you're talking face to face to the camera. There's reels, which you're going to, get people that maybe aren't in your circle to find you. There are stagnant posts where you could do carousel posts for more educational type information. There's so many different ways to connect with your audience on that platform. So what's the best way to connect in the platform that you've chosen? Okay, the number 4 thing that you can do after you have identified your ICA is to create this personalized customer experience. So what I want you to do is map out what that customer journey looks like, from when they first stumble upon you online to, their interaction with you on your website, to reaching out or placing an order or booking you or your services, to anything that happens after that, whether it is the packaging, whether it is the shipping, whether it is those emails back and forth to work out the details on their session, whether it's the delivery of your course. What touch points can you create to make your ICA feel like it was made for them? What are the different stages and the different journeys that they are going to take? And where are they the most likely to feel stuck or need some extra support? And how can you make each one of those interactions feel more personable and more valuable? So if you're using email sequences or follow-ups or onboarding processes, how can you tailor those to your ICA? And some questions that I want you to kind of ponder while you are working through that process is, what unique value can you add to the onboarding experience that's going to exceed expectations? Is there anything that you can automate to make those touch points more consistent without losing personal touch? Like, how can you automate something but still keep it personalized? And then, are you gathering enough data at the beginning to really understand their preferences and their needs? Okay. Number 5 is to test and optimize based on your insights. So regularly reviewing how well your strategy is resonating with your audience is so key. So which campaigns, which content are driving the most engagement with your ICA? Are there any certain offers or messagings that consistently fall flat? Why is that? Do you need to take them out completely, or do you just need to readjust them? What feedbacks are you getting from your clients directly, and how can you use that to improve? This is where you're going to use things like your analytics, your feedbacks, and surveys to help refine that approach. Okay, so here are some questions to help guide refinements. So first question is, have I reviewed the performance of my platforms and adjusted based on the results? Have you even changed anything after you worked on it? What new trends or changes in my ICA's behavior should I be considering? And how often should I revisit my ICA to ensure that it is accurate? Now, these are questions that you're going to have to answer for yourself. There's not one size fits all things. This could look like putting a poll on an Instagram story to understand what type of content your ICA is looking for, and then adjusting your program or your packaging based on that. Number 5, we're going to talk about some practical applications to apply to it right now. So if you have not already, grab that ideal client blueprint, fill it on out. That link is down below. And I want you to choose one pain point, one platform, and one service to focus on. And when you do that, I want you to write down one actionable step from each of those categories that you can implement this week. So what is one pain point that your ICA is having, and how can you address that? I want you to choose one platform that you are going to address that pain point on. And I want you to choose one service or product that is going to fix that pain point. How can you implement that this week? Write it down, put it on the calendar, and make it happen. Remember that action is the only thing that is going to make a change after you identify your ICA. If you have not already grabbed that worksheet, remember you can grab it down below. I want to quickly go over some common mistakes that I want you to avoid. And mistake number 1 is focusing on too many platforms. This is, I think, where a lot of brand new entrepreneurs really spread themselves way too thin. So I want to encourage you to pick 1, maybe 2 platforms where your ICA is the most active and go all in on those. You can add in more later, but focus on 1, maybe 2 in order to to really put some punch behind your messaging. Okay, mistake number 2, and that is ignoring the feedbacks or your analytics. Stick to the strategy. Okay, so figure out what's working and what's not working. You do not want to stick to strategies or stick to messaging that just isn't hitting home, because that's just like hitting your head against the wall. So I want to encourage you to regularly review and adjust based on measurable results. All right, mistake number 3 is not actually aligning your offers with your ICA's insights. So trying to cater to everyone instead of refining your service. That is mistake number 3. And honestly, that is such a mistake, like such a big problem that I see in so many of my coaching clients when we first start working together. So I want to encourage you to revisit your offers, streamline them so that they are truly aligning with your ICA's needs. If you need help with that, I do have a worksheet. It is called the Golden Grid Worksheet, and you can find that in the show notes below as well. And that is going to help you refine that offer a little bit more. But thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. Today, we've walked through 5 powerful strategies on taking your ICA client avatar from paper into action. We've learned how we can align our messaging with our ICA's pain points, refining our offers to better meet their needs, and choosing the right platforms in order to reach them while creating a personalized client experience and continuing to test and optimize our approach. Each one of these strategies is really designed to help you connect more deeply with your audience in order to build trust and ultimately to grow your business. I want to remind you to focus and track your progress. You don't have to do everything all at once. Choose one strategy that resonates the most with you and track how it impacts your business. Remember, progress is made step by step. Small changes are going to lead to biggest results over time. I want to challenge you to pick one of those strategies, put it into practice. Maybe it is refining your messaging or rethinking your offers, whatever feels like the next best step for your business. take it today. Remember, if you have not already downloaded the Ideal Client Blueprint, it is in the show notes below. Grab it right now. It is packed with everything that you need to define, refine, and implement your ICA insights. You can find that in the show notes below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to me today to the Next Brave Step podcast. I truly enjoy jumping on here every single week to meet with you and to help you take the next brave step forward in your business. If you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. It would mean the world to me if you could leave a rating and review of this show. That is how we can gather insights to make sure that we are creating content and education that you need in your business, and it helps us to reach more entrepreneurs just like you. All right, remember, you've got this. Go ahead and get out there and take that next brave step in your life and your business. I'm right here to help you along the way. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
That wraps up today's episode of The Next Brave Step. I've truly enjoyed having you join me on this journey. Here at The Next Brave Step, we don't just talk about our dreams, we take bold actions towards them every day. Stay connected by hitting that subscribe button and dive even deeper with us by becoming part of the Next Brave Step Insiders group on Facebook. Let the insights and energy from today's conversation ignite your next brave step forward. Remember, every small step is a vital part of your incredible journey. So get out there and take that next step forward. You're never alone. I'll be right here cheering you on. I'll see you in the next episode.